For math today, I wanted to read you guys the fractions book that is part of your math block. This is found on getepic.com. If you guys haven't been able to access that, I figured I would go ahead and read this to you in case you haven't been able to. It is called Fractions. Our author is Sara Pistoia. So yesterday we talked about fractions for the first time, and we talked about whole and half. And today we're going to talk about fourth as well. I think it mentions thirds also. Now, we don't need to know that in kindergarten. It's just a little bit extra for you guys today. The main thing that we are going to focus on is making sure that when you are using fractions, you are talking about equal pieces and fair share. Fractions. People everywhere use fractions. Fractions show how many parts of something make up the whole. Fractions can help us be fair when we share. The candy bar is a whole. Let's cut it in two right down the middle. Now there are two equal parts. Each part is a fraction called 1/2. 1/2 and 1/2 is equal to one whole. So here's the whole candy bar. They cut it in half, meaning they cut it right down the middle, so that each person can get the same amount. 4 friends have a pie for dessert. How can they share it? This way isn't very fair. So you can see it, even though it's cut into 4 pieces, if you were a friend that got this piece, you probably wouldn't be very happy. How come? Because some of your other friends got a much larger piece. So this is not a fair way to share a pie with 4 people. This way is better. Each friend gets 1/4 of the pie. This pie is cut into fair shares. It has 4 equal parts, so everyone gets an equal piece. So you can see they cut it down the middle on one side, and then they cut it down the middle again in the other direction. And this fraction is called 1/4 because there are 4 pieces that make up the whole. Here are some other foods cut into parts. This pizza is cut into 3 equal parts. Each part is 1/3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This apple is cut into 2 equal parts. Each part is 1/2. We talked about that yesterday. Half means that there are 2 parts that are equal. This pear is cut into 2 parts that are not equal. Neither part is 1/2. So remember that when we're using fractions, we have to have a fair share here. Is this sandwich cut into fractions? Remember, a fraction must have equal parts. So when you share, be fair. So even though this is cut into 4 pieces, are they the same size? No. Fractions can be equal parts of a group too. You could share this group of 6 cookies with 2 friends. Don't forget yourself. So there are 3 kids and 6 cookies. If you divide the cookies into 3 equal parts, each friend can have 2 cookies. Each person's share is 1/3 of the whole pile. So each person would get 2 cookies. She would get 2 cookies. She would get 2 cookies. And she can get 2 cookies. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're cutting things into parts. You could be separating things into equal groups as well. When bakers make cookies, they use fractions. They use 1 whole egg. They use 1 whole cup of flour, but the rest of the ingredients are fractions. So 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of butter, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So when your parents are making recipes, or maybe you might be helping them in the kitchen, pay attention to the recipes because oftentimes you'll hear those fraction words. Here are some other fractions. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers. 1/4 of these flowers is pink. What fraction of the flowers is yellow? So this is just kind of extra. I don't expect you guys to know this in kindergarten, but it's in here, so I'm going to just read it anyway. There are 4 flowers, okay? 1/4 is pink. We have 1, 2, 3/4 of the flowers are yellow. You can use words and pictures to talk about fractions, and you can use numerals too. So yesterday I showed you guys the symbol for 1/2. Sometimes you might see the line slanted like this. This is the symbol for 1/4, and you'll see that on your sort this week also. So you have 4 blocks here, okay? 1/4 of the blocks are yellow, and 3/4 of the blocks are red. We often use numerals to show fractions. The bottom numeral shows how many parts are in the whole thing. The top numeral shows how many parts we are talking about. Again, this is just extra information. This stoplight has 3 parts, the red, the yellow, and the green. 1 light is on. Okay, so 1 light total is on out of 3. 1 out of 3. 1/3 of the lights are on. 2/3 of the lights are off. Here are 10 bowling pins. A ball knocks down 5 pins, and 5 pins are still standing. Okay, so we know 5 and 5 is 10, right? There are 2 equal parts. 5 pins are standing and 5 pins have fallen. So we know 1/2 of the pins have fallen. So remember your fractions. Be fair when you share. Your friends will know just how much you care. And that is the end of that book. So again, this had a lot of extra stuff into it. We're going to really focus on whole, half, and fourths. And I'm going to demonstrate that with our sort here in just a minute. I have our fraction sort here, and I have it kind of cut up into pieces. You have this in your packet, and this week we are going to be sorting the shapes based on the fraction or not a fraction. So I'm going to put our headers. It's just kind of like our word study where we have headers that go at the top. So I have 1 whole. That's showing you a full circle. And then I have 1/2. Okay, it's showing you a circle that is cut into 2 equal pieces. It also has the symbol that we talked about yesterday, 1/2, because we have 2 pieces. Okay, we have 1/4. Okay, and then we have not a fraction. Okay, so this is cut into pieces, but they are not equal. All right, so we are going to look at the other pieces and we're going to try to put them in the correct column to see where they go. All right, so this piece has 2 equal pieces. We're going to imagine one of them is colored in. Okay, has 2 equal pieces, so we are going to put it under the 1/2. So when you divide things in half, it does not matter which direction you're cutting it in. You could go up and down, you could go sideways, you could go diagonally sometimes. As long as the pieces are equal, it does not matter which direction. So this is half. All right. Then we have a piece that is cut into 4 pieces to demonstrate fourths. So here is the 4th category. All right. All right, this piece is cut into pieces, but I'm seeing that this piece is small, this piece is large, this piece is small. So we know that these pieces are not equal. So this is demonstrating not a fraction. All right. This is showing 2 equal pieces. So this is showing you halves. So I'm going to put it under the 1/2 category. All right. This is showing 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces They're cut across a long ways, but they do look equal. So this is showing you fourths. So I am going to put it here. Now you may notice it does not look the same as your other fourths. That doesn't matter as long as the pieces are equal, which they are. All right, this is showing you a whole piece. So I'm going to put it with a 1 whole. Okay. Here is a octagon that is cut into 4 equal pieces. So this is showing you fourths. And we have this piece. This is also cut into 4 pieces, but I'm noticing that they are not equal. So you might get tricked. Don't get tricked. You don't want to put it here because these pieces are not equal. So this is not a fraction. All right, then we have this oval. It's cut into 2 pieces, so it is showing you halves. Again, it does not matter which direction you go when you cut something in half as long as you have equal shares. All right, this is showing you 1 whole oval, so I'm going to put it here. All right, we have an octagon that is cut into 4 pieces. This kind of looks like the pie from our book. Okay, even though this is cut into 4 pieces, the pieces are not equal, so I'm going to put that under not a fraction. Okay, then we have an octagon cut into 2 equal pieces, so it's showing you halves. Okay, I have a whole square here. I have a square cut into 4 equal pieces, so it's showing you fourths. I have a whole rectangle. I'm going to put it under 1 whole. And then the last one I have is a rectangle cut into 2 pieces. They're not quite equal though. It kind of looks like they could be, but this side is a little bit bigger than that side. So I'm going to put that one under not a fraction. So you have 4 pieces that go under each header. The whole pieces do not have any lines in them because it's showing you the entire piece. The half pieces are cut into 2 equal parts. The fourth pieces are cut into 4 equal parts. Again, it doesn't matter if it's cut horizontally or crisscross, as long as the pieces are equal and there are 4. And then we have not a fraction, which is showing you the shapes that are cut into pieces, but the pieces are not equal. So you have this sort in your packet this week. Cut it out and practice it at home. And I will be doing more fractions with you this week. All right, guys, take care.